Shaheem Reed, the Rap on Wrestling Podcast. I'm here with my brother Nick, 816. And we are on 316 day, Stone Cold Day. Big up to the legend, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We just watched, I should say, Raw from San Antonio, Texas. And a lot happened, a lot I was excited about. But man, Nick, I was a little disappointed. No Stone Cold Steve Austin on Raw. I saw he was at some spot called a Fuel Bar or something in Vegas today. I'm wanting to see him on Raw, man.
Man, I was really hoping to, even if we got him for 2 minutes, him come out, drink a beer, something. I mean, in Texas, in his home state. Yeah, I was a little disappointed as well. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But
I would have.
it's all
Go
good.
ahead.
No, I said, no, it's all good.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him come out and give Danhausen a Stone Cold Stunner or something like that. You know, my mind be racing. My mind be going different places. So on the high end, I'm like, well, maybe, on the super high end, probably beyond the realms of reality, is that maybe he answers Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania challenge on 316 day in Texas. And he kind of says, Brock, we thought for like 20 years ago, it never happened. This is our chance. I want an only shot. So that was just like dream of dreams, beyond the realm of expectations. Then I'm thinking, he comes out, he's celebrating, he's having a good time, and then Gunther interrupts him and challenges him to a match at WrestleMania and says, I'm going to finally rid the WWE of Stone Cold, and this will be your last match at WrestleMania, or something like that. So that was a little bit more realistic. And then my low end is that maybe he would come out and Trick Williams would show up, or Kid Wilson or somebody, and he comes out and Stone Cold stuns him and just have a good time. So we didn't get Stone Cold Steve Austin, but to start the show off, we got Seth Rollins and his not so merry myriad of masked men coming out, trying to cause some confusion. Seth comes out and he says right off the rip, the vision was his vision. He wants to burn it down right now, no pun intended. And he says not only is he after the vision, but just anybody who's standing next to Paul Heyman. And much to my surprise, because I didn't think we was going to see Paul Heyman until WrestleMania, he comes out and he walks out. Obviously, Paul Heyman doesn't have any music, but he walks out. His right eye is beat up. Like, it looks like it's kind of recovering from being a black eye. He was growing a beard. Excuse me, he had the gray stubble. It looked like he lost some weight. It really looked like Paul Heyman when he came out on Raw tonight. It looked like he had partied for about 3 or 4 straight days in Las Vegas, didn't get no sleep, and then he just got into a barroom brawl or something like that and got the hell beat out of him. We know in the storyline he got third spunked by Seth Rollins a couple of weeks ago. I didn't think he was gonna come back so early, but he comes back and he said that he started off looking like the victim, started sounding like he was victimized, and then he started with the F around and find out, FA, FO, FA, FO. Yeah, and he started chanting that, and he says the F5, and you already know that that is pardon me for rubbing my eye, whoever's watching this on YouTube. They got the pollen is crazy. I'm in ATL. The pollen is crazy. Got me super twisted. So Brock Lesnar comes out. I'm like, all right, it's time. It's time. And this is something that has been alluded to as well. People been talking about this. They've been speculating, well, since there is no Braun Breaker, there is no Bronson Reed, they're both on the injured reserve list. Who the hell is going to fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? And people were saying it'll probably be Brock. Me on the other side, I'm like, I mean, it'll probably be Seth Rollins, yeah, against Brock. Me on the other side, I'm like, yo, he has this challenge. And even the last episode, Nick, I was telling you, I'm like, yo, I was in Atlanta when they first debuted the challenge, and the crowd was going so crazy, chanting Oba, Oba, Oba. Oba Femi would look crazy. He would look twisted if he didn't come out and do the challenge. Like, I'm like, yo, they can't let my man Oba go out like that, because we know Oba's a proud Nigerian warrior. He's the ruler. He's always ready for a fight. They cannot let Seth Rollins be the one to challenge, or the first one to challenge Brock Lesnar. So Brock comes out. The ring announcer, Michael Cole and Corey Graves, is talking about Seth is not, he's not cleared to fight. And this is the great part that I like about him. And, I wish that Braun Breaker, maybe it's not too late, maybe Braun Breaker does get cleared. But the fact that Seth has so many of these henchmen, masked men, that it looks amazing when one of the Monster Hill comes out and just decimates all of them. Like, can you imagine if Bronson Reed wasn't injured? He'd come out and he'll be hurling all of those guys around and maybe give like 5 tsunamis in one night, and and then forget about it. If Braun Breaker wasn't injured, he would be spearing all of those. It was like a dozen or so. Yeah, man, probably about a dozen or so of the masked men. And can you imagine Braun Breaker just sparing those guys? But we got to see him in action, though. We got to see Brock Lesnar comes out. He's suplexing these guys. Like, he literally suplexed the dude on the ring step, and I thought the guy back was gonna snap in half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got him.
He was suplexing him on the floor. He was suplexing him into the barricade. He was beating them up so bad that it was about 3 or 4 of them that just tried to run away. They was like, yo, fuck it.
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing for it. It's like the old joke. I forget the comedian. He said he was on Def Comedy Jam, I think, and he was talking about the Steven Seagal movies. He was like, yo, how are you in a Steven Seagal movie and you like the 21st person that he fucks up in the barroom brawl? Like, you didn't see 20 other people get beat down. What made you think you being number 21 was gonna be the person to knock him off his square? So salute to those guys who ran like cowards, because that's the only thing you could do with Brock Lesnar if you're not a wrestler. These guys are clearly some may be wrestlers, but they just stand there. Who knows? Some may just be off the street. Brock was brutalizing him. He gets in the ring. It's Brock Lesnar face to face with Seth Rollins. But Seth, he told Paul Heyman, he said, look, I'm smarter than you. When is the last time that somebody has outsmarted Paul Heyman? You just don't really see it. Paul is always a step ahead of the game, but Seth Rollins, ever since he's played this masterfully. Seth Rollins, he's not just a visionary because he's seeing the future of the business. He steps ahead when it comes to warfare. Just like he was ahead of Roman and he was ahead of Punk last year at WrestleMania. He's the one who caused the wise men and Paul Heyman, the best friend, to turn on him in the first place. He played it perfectly, and he's been playing this. Just as it looks like Brock Lesnar is about to put his hands on Seth Rollins, pause, the lights go out. Me, I'm thinking, if I'm Seth, the lights go out, this is the perfect opportunity to escape. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like this is just some Houdini escapism. No. We see the green lights. We see I can't even call them green. We see the emerald lights. The Royal Imperial Emerald lights shine from above. And I'm like, oh my God. I was actually, I was in a early screening of the movie Operation Hail Mary because I kept hearing like this is gonna be the greatest movie of all time. But man, my mother called me like 7:45. I said, yo, I had to get her right on Netflix, and I was like, yo, I'm wildin', man. I gotta see the opening in Netflix. I wound up just walking out the movie. I never even watched the movie because I got so enraptured with Raw. Like after I saw the first segment, I said, "There's no way I'm sitting through a movie when all this chaos is going on Raw." So Oba Femi comes out. He's strutting to the ring like he always does, and you could read his lips. You could even hear him. He says, "I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are." He gets in the ring, and while he's coming to the ring, Nick, have you ever seen Brock Lesnar look that nervous before? Like I don't remember. Like I might have to go back to some of his early days with the Undertaker when he was young fighting the Undertaker. I never seen him that kind of nervous. He wasn't like I'm not gonna play Brock and say he was like super shook because he stood in the ring. He ain't running nothing like that. He was 10 toes down, but he looked nervous. He started looking up. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
It ain't a squash, that's why. It ain't a squash like normal. It's like, okay,
And
like
squash.
it ain't a squash. I got Big Dog coming, and I was even like, oh shit, now this is what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like
This is it.
this is it.
Like even when he had to go against Omos is 7 foot tall, 7'2" or whatever. Rock wasn't really looking like he was stressing it like that. But you see Brock, he's looking over because Seth Rollins ain't leave. Seth Rollins stood in the corner with a big smile on his face, like he masterminded this whole thing. Like he's the one that said, "Yo, I bet Brock Lesnar's gonna come out. If he comes out, be ready, Oba, to come do your thing."
Right.
So he's sitting there with a smile. Brock is looking at him in the corner. He's looking at Oba coming to the ring. He don't know what to do. He's confused. Paul Heyman's on the outside, catching a conniption as he always does. Then Brock Lesnar, he made a fatal mistake. He turned his back on Oba for about 2 seconds just to see what Seth was going to do. Seth finally slides out the ring. Brock turns, and I could not believe it. I was shocked with the ease. Did you see how easy he hoisted him in the air for the fall from grace? Power slam. Yo,
Rough. That's a big dude.
yo, bro. I've seen and Nick, you seen it too. We the fans. We've seen it. Brock's been in the ring. More often than not, Brock Lesnar is the bigger guy when he fights in a wrestling match. But we have seen him with Ownerz. We have seen him with The Big Show. We have seen him with Kane. We have seen him with The Undertaker. These are big guys, taller than him at the very least. We see him with Mark Henry. I ain't seen nobody pick Brock up with the ease that Omos did. Like that was scary strength, as they say. Like, yo, he picked him up, and it's not like he had him just mid-level. He had him all the way up in the air, like how Undertaker, when he does the last ride, to some of them lightweights. Bam. Brock had to get his ass out there and win. Brock had to run for cover, man, because
It is different to see that, Brock on the receiving end. I was even watching it like, damn, his looks different. But man, like it just they I mean, it's very deserving, but man, they Oba over big time with that.
that's what I keep saying. Oba Femi, not Oba Femi. This guy, he's gonna go crazy, and even at WrestleMania, I'm like, if they, I was telling E. Will this, I'm like, if they want to keep Brock like on Monster Hill status, and they want to keep him undefeated or whatever, there's some rumors that he wants to be undefeated. I don't believe that, but look, him and Oba. So the match, before I get too far ahead, the match is official. The match is official. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar WrestleMania. This is a dream match. This is a match we all been. Man, my allergies farming, guys. I haven't been allergic to anything my entire life. I come to Atlanta, and these allergies are starting to kill me. But this is a dream match. Like this, to me, this is a marquee. This is a main event match. This is a match that it's not gonna close WrestleMania, but this is a match that can open night 1 and night 2.
Oh, for sure.
But the only thing is, because a lot of what Oba does deals with these lights, the Royal Emerald lights and stuff like that. So I think they might have to save it to like the end of the night. Like I could easily see in this being a match like right before Cody and Randy, or right before. Well, I don't think it'll be right before CM Punk and Roman, only because Paul Heyman has that connection, and they might not want Paul Heyman to be so close to Roman and Punk, but I can definitely see this being like right before Cody and Randy for sure. But it's exciting, man. It's exciting, and I mean, at WrestleMania, I would like to see a clear, concise winner. I would love to see Oba definitively pin this guy, but hey, I know we still trying to protect Brock in certain stances, like, and so maybe it's a double count out, a double disqualification. I think it's gonna be a great feud. I think it could be more than one match, but it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. And Brock is funny because he's actually fighting somebody that's probably just as tough as he is, just as big as he is, pause, and strong, pause. But Oba's only 27 years old compared to Brock, who's about 45. So this guy's almost 20 years younger than Brock. And he ready to go. He's like a young Brock. He's like a young Brock. Like, this dude could run through a wall. So it's gonna be dope. This is, to me, this is like, besides, as of right now, besides Roman and Punk and Cody and Randy, this is the match I'm most anticipating at WrestleMania. Let's go. I can't wait.
Yeah, this one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be real good.
So tonight we also had the return of Roman Reigns. And I don't know what I was expecting. I thought Roman was gonna, his cousins punched Punk last week. So there was a segment where, he had 3 segments. He came out, the Usos met him like in the parking lot area where the cars are. They showed love to each other. Obviously, all the cousins are one accord. They like, I want to highlight you. They go back into the dressing room, and this is what I think has been missing all along, is that some of the best segments that we got from the Bloodline was not in the ring. It was in the dressing room. when Roman is just talking mad shit, or they might be just joking. Sammy comes with some jokes or whatever. It might be Roman just laying the law down, or it might be something emotional with the Usos. But some of the best segments that we got was when we had the cousins together in the dressing room and just talking. And tonight Roman was like, "Yo, I don't care if Punk talks about me being a part timer. Like, I very rarely saw my father. Y'all can relate. Was your father on the road, Jimmy and Jay? Yeah, our pops, Lakeisha was on the road. So, look, Roman said the most important thing to me is that my wife and my children know I'm a full-time father. Like that's the biggest flex for a superstar. You could be a full-time father to your children, full-time husband to your wife. That's what I want. All these belts and stuff, I want it too, but the big picture is the family. And he told Jimmy and Jay, he's like, yo, I don't want no apology. Cause they did ask him, right? Like they was like, yo, why you ain't punched dude last, why you ain't punch him? And Roman he was kind of caught off. I ain't gonna say he was caught off guard, but he was like, yo, it's just hard to explain. CM Punk just struck a chord with him. He's like, it's hard to explain. He say, I don't even want an apology, but you guys deserve an apology. I'm gonna go out there and get an apology for my family. And Roman also basically said that to anybody that's Samoan and his family, it's open season on Punk. He's like, anytime before WrestleMania, anytime after WrestleMania, it's open season. WrestleMania weekend, Punk is mine, but yo, handle your business. He talked about your uncle. Handle your business. It is what it is. Handle your business. And I would love, like Nick, I think this is dope. I would love to see, like, leading up to WrestleMania, where maybe it's not even matches. Like I don't think I want to see Punk fight every Samoan in the match, but I would love it if he's like a marked man. I would love it, like, just, and you don't even have to sign all of these people to WWE, but I would love it if we see like Zilla Fatu step to him and they just fight a little bit, or the MFT surround the ring and try to jump him, or Jacob Fatu comes out and they get into it. Like, I would love to see, just the Samoan dynasty just lingering, and then of course the Rock, March 30th, Madison Square Garden. That's gonna be one of the biggest Raws. I would love for the Rock to come out there at the Garden. Him and CM Punk and Dade, something crazy. So we get to the final segment of the night, right? Roman's closing it. He calls out Punk. I thought they was gonna get to it. I thought they was gonna fight. Because Roman was kind of saying, like, yo, I don't need the apology. So I'm like, either they gonna fight or maybe the bloodline is gonna jump him. How do you think it was gonna go?
Same thing. I thought Roman was in a punch. I mean, we know that Punk is the one that swung first, but yeah, I thought he was in a swing on Punk. I was waiting for it. But then, like, that's what Roman typically does. But like, what happened tonight? Like, Roman is the one that, to me, that got to get up on Punk by making him, snap again under his skin. So but yeah, I thought Roman was gonna jump the gun and whoop his ass first. Honestly, I was waiting for it. I was hoping for it.
I ain't gonna lie, Roman was losing, bro. Roman was losing. I'm pulling up some of these notes that I took.
He was cooking Roman. He been cooking Roman.
Roman spars verbally, man. I think Roman 0 for 3, bro. He 0 for 3. Like, it got so bad, and Pocket, he better be careful, man, because he's saying these things like, you know, he said, Roman, you're saying my government name like that's supposed to be an insult to me. He's like, my friends and my family, all my loved ones, they call me. They call me Phil still. Like I don't feel no way about somebody calling me Phil, but I won't call you. What's your name? Titty Tikaki or something like that. I was like, oh, I said that was one of them. Like what? You better be careful, man. Then he said, a joke. Right. He said, he's like, oh, I won't call you Joe because that would be insulting a real someone I know named Joe. I said, ah, man, I like that. That is sharp.
I said the same thing. I was like, that's cold. I was like, that's cold. As much as I don't fucking like Punk, I was like, that's cold.
Nah, Punk is sharp, man. And it was funny because, Punk don't always be shaking hands with the fans. He came out, he took extra long. He did a whole lap where he slapped hands with all of the fans. He did a whole lap around the ring, slapping fans, hands, just taking his time. He gets in there with Roman and, they start going to it. Knowing insults, but he started cooking Roman to the point where he told him, he was like, yo, what the Usos did to me, because, Jay punched him to end Raw. He said, I deserved it. He came clean. He said, yo, what the Usos did to me, I deserved it. It was the right message, but the wrong messenger. Why you sending your cousins out there to do your work?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of flustered Roman to the point where Roman started going back to when he used to cut promos, like when he first came on, it was like very elementary. He was like, you know what? You can't, you're not stronger than me. You're not faster than me.
Right.
You're not more good looking than me. I was like, oh shit, Roman, he got you. I was like, yeah. When he said, you're not more good looking than me, I said, man.
Yeah.
And then he tried to walk away. Like instead of finishing the battle, like you gotta have these segments, you gotta have a drop the mic segment. Like you can't drop the mic moment, I should say. You can't just try to leave in the middle of the battle. Like you gotta keep going, man. And then Punk was kind of punking him. He wasn't letting him get out the ring and none of that. He was standing in his way. I thought Roman was going to try to push him or punch him or something. Nothing. He came back in the rings. And then he said something that struck a chord with Punk. He's like,
You're old.
you're old. And then Punk like, really? Punk laid him out. He punched him in the face. He dropped him with one punch. And then Roman started laughing. He's like, okay, now I'm in your head. But that was, maybe that was the one thing, because when you get on the mic, everything he's pretty impregnable with Punk. The only thing besides the old part, he was like, look, you say I'm a part-timer and I'm only around here for every once in a while, but when you get to the top tier, you could do that. You just need to ask your wife. And I was like, oh. So that was a zinger there, but this segment was definitely not as good as the first three.
Yeah.
The last 3 weeks. I mean, the first three back and forth that they had, especially coming off last week with the Uso. I thought that the episode of Raw as a whole, I thought it was cool. It was like after Oba, they couldn't get back to the height. Now we did have a really good match with Penta versus Dragon Lee. I thought that was really dope. AJ Lee retained her belt tonight. We got a really dope promo with Liv Morgan. Talking about Finn getting kicked out the Judgment Day was her plan all along. And I believe it. Like I fully believe that was the focus when she joined the Judgment Day. And it's clear, like for anybody who thought like, oh, Dom is gonna no. Dom is not the leader of Judgment Day. Raquel is gonna fall in line. JD is in line. Liv Morgan is the clear cut leader of Judgment Day. Like, don't get it twisted. And I think Liv is actually gonna lead them to the promised land. I think she's a great leader because she doesn't have as much of an agenda as Dom and Finn had, and even Damian Priest when he was there. You know, of course, Liv want to get her belt, but she gonna do what's best for the team too. So
Right.
I like it. Randy Orton showed up. He was supposed to give an interview. He was on the phone talking to somebody. He thanked them, and he said that whoever it was just basically reminded him that he was a killer, and he got to do what killers do, and that's what he did to Cody. What did you think, Nick, when you saw what he did to Cody on SmackDown, the massacre?
That shit was crazy. I didn't get to see it live. I caught it maybe a few hours after. That shit was crazy. I mean, I would have preferred to see Cody, but like you said, I don't think we're ready for a heel Cody yet. But I didn't think it was gonna be as vicious as it was, man. I was like, damn, Randy really, them voices really got to Randy. That was brutal. But that got me more excited for Mania too. Seeing shit like that, because that just builds more hype and intensity for the match for me. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it because Randy was trying to give him a warning.
Mhm.
He was trying to give him a warning, but Cody was talking about all this, when the bell rings, and all it is.
Yeah.
Nah, this is warfare, bro. Like, nah, this is, we not friends, like, starting now. Like, you talking about when the bell rings, no, started now. Like, just the road to WrestleMania. Like, you forgot who I was. And it's crazy because Randy has actually protected Cody this whole run. When Cody won the belt, he never really, he looked at the belt and he was doting. He had doting eyes at the belt, but he never tried to cross Cody for the belt.
Right.
Even last year when Cody lost the belt with John Cena, then Randy was like, okay, I'm jumping in the ring. And, the next day he came out, he gave John Cena the RKO. He was at his neck trying to get that number 15. But the way he cradled that belt, you know what it reminded me of? When they did the old promos for the NBA and they would show like the different NBA players like holding the championship. And, like some of them had these goofy smiles and these goofy poses. But when it came to Cody was really gripping that NBA championship like it was life or death. Like it was a part of his body. Like, no, it's not like I don't want this. I need this. Like, I'm obsessed with this. And that's how Randy, after he batted Cody, he gave him the concerto on the steps. He left him blood. He ripped his shirt. He beat the man. The man only had one shoe and died. He beat the man out his loafers.
At his loafers.
Like I don't think he had on loafers. He had dress shoes, but beat him out of Scooby Doo's. He beat him out of Scooby Doo's.
His church shoes.
Right. And he sat in that ring and he held that belt on his lap and he was looking at it like, man, the way he was looking at that belt, I don't think he's gonna lose. I think I'm trying to tell y'all, man, Randy is winning that number 15. Randy is looking at it like, yo, they saying John Cena's the GOAT. I still got a lot left in the tank. Randy looking the part. Randy like, yo, I could go another 5-6 years at least.
Oh, Randy looks sharp.
I could be the GOAT. I need 15 to get to 17. I could break his record. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really fun. I like it because on one side you have people that hate each other, that never liked each other, and it's mental mind games with Roman and Punk. On the other side, you got people who was friends, maybe even called each other family, and it was a lot of love there. And you got a big betrayal, but the betrayal is kind of not personal. It's business. It's in the spirit of competition. That's for the championship. And if you look back at it, them people wasn't booing Randy when he did that. Not initially. They wasn't booing him. They was kind of giving it the cosign, but then when he started going too crazy and gave him that concerto on the steps, and they saw how bloody Cody was, people was like, "Oh my God!" Like it was. So it's gonna be fun, man. Like this road to WrestleMania is great. So we got another match added. We got Roman and Punk. That's already a blockbuster. Cody and um, RKO. That's gonna be incredible. The ladies, Liv, Stephanie Vaquer. That's gonna be amazing. I think this is gonna be a show stealer, man. People sleeping on this match, but I think Rhea and Jade Cargill, they're gonna beat the hell out of each other. That's gonna be incredible. Um, After tonight, we're probably gonna get the El Grande Americanos. They fought each other tonight. I think it's gonna be a rematch for that. But we definitely have Brock and Oba. Big blockbuster match, and we're gonna see everything taking shape. Now the division came out. Paul Heyman told Logan Paul and Austin Theory, like, yo, y'all gotta go get some belts, man. We don't have no leverage. We need some gold over here. So they fighting the Usos next week. I don't know if it's for the belts, but I'm thinking that match is gonna lead to a WrestleMania match with a stipulation. So he lining up nice.
Almost here. What we like a month away already?
Month away, yeah, or month away, 5 weeks. So it's gonna be good, man. We gonna get more in. We gonna get into it more with the rest of the crew. Spiff TV, Ari the Oracle, E Will. But for now, I got the tag team. We operating on Freebird rules. You know, you never know if you see all of us, or you might see two of us, you might see one, but we represent all. So for my man Nick 816 on 316, this is Shaheem Reed, the Rap on Wrestling Podcast. We appreciate y'all. Please like, subscribe, share. Keep tuning in. Let's go.